The information is presented for educational purposes only, is not intended to diagnose or prescribe for any medical or psychological condition, or to prevent, treat, mitigate, or cure such conditions. This information is only presented herein for entertainment and educational purposes only. Living Waters Wellness Center was formed after we discovered how to heal my own body from the multiple symptoms, including allergies, asthma, chronic fatigue, back pain, psoriasis, acne, hives, yeast infections, and finally, cancer. After 20 years of trying numerous different treatments, everything from medical to cleanses, iridology, muscle therapy, acupuncture, acupressure, homeopathy, naturopathy, these experiences led us to discover the recipe that became known as the 4 Natural Laws of Healing, combining multiple natural healing modalities to fully detox, cleanse the body, and then allowing the body to take the perfect nutrition to fully restore the body back to its innate health. This became known as the 10-Day Healing Retreat. We have helped thousands of people just like you get their health restored so they can live their life to the fullest extent. If you want to know what that looks like, go to livingwaterscleanse.com and click on the video 4 Natural Laws of Healing, or call the office at 208-378-9911. Good morning, everyone. David DeHaas, your host of the Whole Body Detox Show from Living Waters Wellness Center, where miracles begin by healing from within. Living Waters Wellness Center is Idaho's largest colon hydrotherapy center and known for its 10-day cleanse and healing retreat. Each week, we provide you with the necessary education and tools to detox and heal the body following the 4 Natural Laws of Healing. To learn more details about the 4 Natural Laws of Healing, go to livingwaterscleanse.com. Click on the link 4 Natural Laws of Healing. If you miss any parts of this show or you want to simply re-listen to certain segments, be sure to subscribe to our podcast, Whole Body Detox Show. That can be found on any national podcast platform such as Apple and Spotify and all the rest. So today's show, we're talking about what do we do at the beginning of the new year. We're going to answer some frequently asked questions about coming in and doing colon hydrotherapy. I brought into the studio our colon hydrotherapist, Shelly Fias. Welcome, Shelly.
Thank you.
So, it's January 1st. Maybe you imbibed way too much last night. You're like, oh my gosh, I want to get on my New Year's goals. I'm not feeling so good. I want to drop 10 pounds or a couple pant sizes. You're probably having all those questions. How do I get a fresh start? And I'm going to tell you, colon hydrotherapy has been one of the best tools that I've ever used to reset my body. And if you want to listen to how that all works, you're going to want to go watch that webinar, 4 Natural Laws of Healing, on the website, livingwaterscleanse.com. So in the top right, click on 4 Natural Laws of Healing. Watch that webinar. You're going to learn how the body heals from within, how it heals naturally. And if you want to learn how colonics work specifically, click on the link Treatments, and then underneath it says Colon Hydrotherapy, and you can see how simple and easy it is to do colon hydrotherapy. So if you want to lose some weight, you want to drop some pant sizes, you want to feel better, you want to get rid of that brain fog, maybe you got arthritic joints, maybe you got some brain fog going on, etc., you want to start with colon hydrotherapy because your gut is your second brain. And Shelly, over the years that you've been here as a colon hydrotherapist and your own experiences, which was back on, I think, show 104, I think, we spoke about Shelly's amazing miracle. Haven't you seen the difference when people get off that colonic bed?
Oh, immensely, right away.
Yeah.
They're bright awake. They're clear-eyed. They look like they're ready to go out and take the day on.
Right. So we get questions all the time that come in. We just had a few of these. So we thought, you know what? We better go on the air and answer some of these basic questions. And so again, if you're first here for the first time, what is a colonic? What is colon hydrotherapy? Go to livingwaterscleanse.com, click on the link, treatments, colonics, and you're going to see how easy it is. It really is very simple and very easy. But of course, most of you, for the first time, when you first come in, you're a little nervous, right, Shelly?
Oh, they're very nervous.
A little nervous. What do you wear? What do you eat? All those things. So we're going to ask some of those questions, and Shelly and I are just going to have a little conversation about that. So first question people ask, Shelly, what do I wear?
What do I wear? They're afraid they're going to come out all dirty or something. I always tell them just to wear something that's comfortable, but you can come in right from work with your suit on if you want.
Exactly. So they'll undress from at least the waist down.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So you're not totally buck naked. You can be, but
if you want to be.
Next question they ask though with that is, oh my God, am I going to be exposed?
Oh, they're very, especially the ladies, they're worried about that. But
Right.
you are fully covered so that anybody could walk in the room and you're just looks like you're laying in bed.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah, it really is. You got a blanket over you and very simple. And of course, Shelly and the staff here are very excellent at making you feel very comfortable, I think.
I hope so.
I hope so too.
Yeah.
Otherwise, we probably wouldn't have anybody coming back on the door.
I wouldn't be here.
You wouldn't be here. You'd lose your job.
Oh, no.
So, yes, we've served thousands of people over the last 14 years. Can you imagine? We've been here 14 years.
That's a long time. That shows that you have sustaining power.
Well, that's true. Or I'm just, I guess I can't stop being here, I guess. I don't know.
Well, people love you. They keep coming back, and that's why you're still here.
That's why I'm still here. Yep. Okay, so next question they ask. What's the next question they ask?
Should I eat before I come in? Can I eat afterward? What about eating?
Right. Great question. So when we do our healing retreat, it's a little different than when you just come and do colonics. So if you're just coming in for the first time doing a colonic, look, I don't want you to fast.
No.
I don't want you to come in and all of a sudden your blood sugar's too low and you're a little dizzy. I don't want you doing that. So yes, eat. I mean, ideally, maybe you'd eat something light. If it's within a couple of hours of the treatment, just eat some soups or some juices. If you do eat something, if you go to Big Bun and get yourself a burger or whatever, always recommendation is chew, 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 chew until your food is juice. Chew, 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 because it's the right thing to do. Because you don't want to come in here with you've stuffed yourself and gorged. That's not the ideal. Can you do it?
You can, but it's not advisable.
It's not advisable. You probably won't like it as much. But again, you're going to be okay. So Shelly, the gal called in yesterday and she says, I got a meeting.
Oh, she was worried after the meeting, after the colonic, and she was afraid that she would go in her pants at the meeting.
Right. Well, and that's a concern, right?
It's a huge concern if you've never done it.
Right, yeah. So what do you think? Should she be concerned?
No, not at all. You dump it all in the tub.
Yes. You're pooping here, guys.
There's nothing left to take to the office.
That's right. Yeah, you don't need to wear a diaper. You don't need to worry about that. I've had people get this. I've had people come in here, Shelly, that run marathons.
Oh, okay.
And they'll come in like the night before and do a colonic.
All right.
They want to be lighter when they're out there on the trail.
All right. Okay.
So that brings up the next question. Am I going to lose weight?
I would never do colonics just to lose weight.
Right.
It could assist you.
Right.
But I don't think it's the number one way to lose weight.
Right. So we on our 10-day healing retreat, the average person loses like 10 to 15 pounds.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So we just had a client that came through and she said she lost 18. But again, it's not really fat. There might be a pound or two of fat in 10 days. But by and large, it's mostly just the old gunk in the trunk that we're getting rid of.
Exactly. The toxic stool you don't want to carry around in you.
Right.
But one thing I have found is when I do a colonic, I'll go weigh myself and I will have gained 2 pounds.
Okay.
So anyone out there who thinks they're going to weigh less, you might, but you might weigh a little more because you drank the water.
Right. Yeah. You're getting a lot of water in you. So if you're dehydrated, which most of us are, then you're going to have quite a bit of water going in and out of your colon. So you're going to be hydrating. So you can absorb a little bit there. But by and large, what I notice when I get done doing a colonic every time is usually my pants fit a little better.
Ah, yes.
I mean, there's people that come in and go, I lost half a pant size or a pant size maybe.
Yes.
Yeah, especially if you're bloated.
Yep, that bloat's gone.
Yeah, that really makes a big difference. And the thing I noticed, remember the first time I did mine, I was like, oh my gosh, I feel so much better.
I feel great after a colonic.
Right.
I have way more energy, way more focused, and just like I'm ready to go.
Yeah.
So I think that people thinking they are going to go to bed or they have to rest because something horrible happened to them, they need to think the other way. They're going to feel really invigorated.
Yeah, the majority of people generally get off, and we've taped some of these testimonials where, God, I feel lighter and refreshed. I'm surprised how better I feel. Now, there are a few of you, and again, this is really probably 0.0055555. I mean, it's very minute amount of you that are super toxic, and you could have what we call a Herxheimer reaction.
Yes.
Which means you could be on the bed and potentially you could throw up. That could happen.
That could happen.
Pretty rare. But every once in a while it happens.
I had that reaction, only I wasn't throwing up.
Right.
I had one colonic, and then the next morning my back felt like somebody hit it with a board.
Oh, wow.
It hurt so bad. And I talked to Wendy about it, and she says, oh, you need to get right back on the bed.
Right.
So I bought a package of 3, and boom, it was gone.
Yeah, we always encourage you to, if you're going to come in and just try it out, don't try out with just one. Because the first day you're nervous, and I've had people not have anything come out, they're so nervous. or they have a very restricted colon, or they're super constipated. And, that if you haven't pooped in a week, or in some cases 2 weeks or a month, we see, right?
Yes.
Which is, that's got to be miserable.
Oh, I feel awful.
Yeah. We had one guy been 2 months. Can you imagine?
Oh, gosh. Like you're dying?
It was hard for him to talk.
Oh.
Yeah, it took 11 days of colonics. So the point is, 11 days before it broke free, 11 days of water, lots of water going in, dissolving all that old gunk. And then, of course, he was much better.
Oh, I hope so after all that.
Well, his next choice was to go down and have his colon cut out. That's where he was headed.
Oh. Well, that's kind of...
You don't want that done.
You don't want that.
We want to keep your colon.
Yeah.
That's your second brain, guys. You got to keep it well. How it lives is how you live. So, okay, so you might feel some nausea when you're on the bed. That's very common.
That's from eating that big bun burger.
Probably.
Yeah.
Or what you ate last week, or something's coming out. Or heavy metals. Sometimes when you start to pass stuff, you just like, whoa, what's coming out of my body? It's some probably chemical or pesticide that, it's all good. It's temporary. It doesn't last very long. We're talking about today frequently asked questions, people coming in, a little worried, like the one gal we mentioned. She was worried she wouldn't be able to go to the office afterwards. But, if you want to think well, come to a colonic. Get your brain back. Because brain fog is a real issue. A lot of you experiencing it, and there's a lot of reasons why that's happening. But if you look at the chart, which we'll show you in the 4 Natural Laws of Healing webinar, Shelley, remember where it says the transverse colon, all those connections to the brain?
Yes, that's a fascinating part to study.
It is. 90% of your serotonin gets made there.
Yeah, your mental health comes from that part.
Right. So happy mood. If you want to be happy, you're not being happy, you got anxiety. Let's heal the gut. Let's heal the transverse colon. So, okay, we're talking about things we could eat. We mentioned that. Soft foods is best. Going back to work. Sure, you can go back to work.
Yep.
In fact, people on our 10-day healing retreat, many people come in, they're here about 5 hours, and then they go home or go back to work afterwards, or they go to work and then come and do the colonics or do their whole treatment. Mm-hmm. So, but if you're just doing colon hydrotherapy, it's not very much time really to do it.
It's a short part of your whole day.
It really
is. 45 minutes.
45 minutes on the colonic bed with the water running. So in and out of the room, about an hour and a half. Yep. So at the max, depending upon how quick you are. Our regulars are in and out in about a little over an hour. And but the first time you come, we roll out the red carpet, don't we?
We do.
Let's talk about some of the things we give them the first time.
The first time they come in, they will get a 30-minute biomat treatment. That's on infrared heat with amethyst crystals that'll help to heal the body and to get it ready to detox. You get a 10-minute T-zone treatment, which is lymph detox, before you go on the colonic bed. You get to sit with Mr. David and have a nice consultation and see about your health goals and how you would like to treat yourself, and he can help guide you on that way.
Yeah.
And then you get a nice 45-minute colonic.
So you're here about 3 hours.
Yes, 3 hours.
So reserve 3 hours. Now you don't have to do those treatments if you don't want to, but we like to, I guess, bribe them, tease them with all the good stuff we got to show here.
Well, each one plays a part in the colonic, though.
Right.
I have found that if you do them all, that you feel even better than just doing a colonic.
Yeah, the biomat's wonderful. I mean, I don't know how you out there, if you don't have a biomat, I don't know how you're living, quite frankly, because especially this time of year when it's cool, that biomat, oh my goodness.
It is a wonderful treatment. I mean, it just feels so good to climb inside, and I cover you up and play some little biomat CD for you, and people just absolutely eat that one up.
Yeah, it puts you into a delta state of relaxation. So you're going into a delta brainwave, which is your sleep mode. So many people fall asleep.
I do every time.
Yeah.
I mean, I keep trying to stay awake, but within 5 minutes, I'm gone.
Yeah, and the beauty of it, when you wake up, you feel rest and you have a little more energy, is what I always notice.
Yes, you feel like you had a long, long nap, and it was only 30 minutes.
Right, and if you got sore joints,
sore back,
you've had some injuries, like my wife, what happened to her years ago, falling off that roof. She uses that biomet every day, so it helps mitigate the pain. So it's really good for that, but super boosts the immune system. It raises your NK and T cell activation. So those guys are fighting hard for you, nuking out all the viruses, and even kills cancer cells. So amazing tool. You can see more about that under the treatments option on livingwaterscleanse.com. Click on biomat, and there's actually a full video there that you can watch that explains more about the biomat. And then, of course, lymphatically, we want to move that lymphatic fluid. You have 40 pints of lymphatic fluid in your body, which is another way your body detoxes, again, from all that dirty stuff you have in your colon. So, but most of you, we don't have a pump for the lymphatic system. So most of you you're stagnant. You're sitting in the chair most of the day, working at a desk, possibly. You're not out there doing jumping jacks and jump rope and
trampolines
and all that stuff. So the T-zone is a great way. 10 minutes equals the equivalent of 1 hour of exercise. And again, you can see a video on that over on the website at livingwaterscleanse.com under treatments. But a really great device, and many people come in, and you notice when they get done doing the T-zone, they're itching themselves.
They do. They say their skin itches all over. Oh, I'm itching so bad.
Right. If that happens to you, that is definitely a key sign that your body is so toxic that those toxins the liver says, hey, I have no more place to put this stuff. Where am I going to put it? So it puts it in the subcutaneous tissue, right under the skin. And so when you shake things up, it's just basically shaking that up, and it's pushing it through the skin. Another organ that helps you detox. So another great
modality.
Another great modality to do that. So let's keep talking about it. So how people ask, well, how do I feel? Is it going to be painful?
I get asked that a lot with first-time people. Is this going to hurt?
Right.
So I always tell them you can have some discomfort. I mean, anytime you go to the bathroom, sometimes you're going to feel some kind of cramping or something as your body's trying to relieve itself. The colonic is no different.
Right.
So in some cases, if they're extremely constipated, it's just a little more of that feeling.
Right. Yeah, if you're someone who's been bound up and it's been a while, but look, it's all good. You want to get this stuff out, and the only way you're going to get it out is to use water.
Lots of water.
Lots of water.
About 15 gallons in 45 minutes.
Yeah, and so the hydration is going to go up there. So if you're so jammed up, which we've treated those people, lots of those people, right? And I mean, I feel sorry. Sometimes they're like, oh my gosh, this hurts, doesn't feel good. But it's because you've basically waited way too long to come see us. And so when you think of concrete in your gut, think of poop like just super hard as a rock. It's going to take a while to dissolve that. May not happen on the first day. May not happen on the second day. Now, it's rare that it takes longer than that. But I've seen people, like I said, go 5 days, or some people 10 days. So ideally, when you come in, by at minimum, at least a 3-day colonic session, and ideally do them in a row.
Yep, that would be good. Close together.
Close together. And the reason why we advocate for that is that, like I say, first day is weird day. I've had so many people tell me second day was a whole different experience.
Right.
Right?
Or even the 5-day.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, you start getting into it, and then pretty soon it's like going to the amusement park and hopping on a roller coaster, and you've done it a zillion times, and it's no big deal. You can do it in your sleep.
I think your body's just sort of waking up into what it's supposed to do. So the first time is kind of figure this thing out. It's
right.
kind of, this is weird. By the second one, it's like, I know what to do.
Right.
And so it's much better.
Yeah, your body's saying, oh, they want to detox. Let's detox.
We're on board. Let's do it.
Let's do it. So, okay, so is it painful? Of course, no, it's not. But occasionally, there can be a just for a moment or so. But it's all good. You want to get it out. You do not want to be stuck here because it's causing you harm. It's eventually leading you to other diseases if you have a severe constipation. Good flora.
It's going to be all gone if I do a colonic.
That's what we're told. That's what people call. So, I'm not going to lose all my good flora. Well, if you're constipated, you've already destroyed it. Or the other big
antibiotics.
Yeah. We see this many, many times. People have been constant use of antibiotics, and that does destroy the gut flora.
So are they going to lose it through a colonic?
No, we got to clean things out first. So it's like this. Compared to your refrigerator, if you had old food rotting in your refrigerator, you wouldn't just put some yogurt in there and expect things to change, or a probiotic pill. Not going to change. You got to clean out the refrigerator, then put in fresh food. So basically, in your gut, same thing. Let's clean all that out and let's restore it. We have people come in here with severe candida yeast, with severe constipation. I mean, we see some pretty amazing. We see some pretty bad stuff. I mean, people come in here pretty sick to see us. And we clean out that gut and we get it healed. Even those with yeast candida, this is your salvation. If you've got a lot of yeast issues going on, toenail fungus, for example,
yeah,
you'll know it. You're tired. It's not fun. But throwing in a probiotic down the top, not going to change things. No, we got to clean it out.
You have to clean it all out. That's why the 10 days so good.
It is.
Yeah.
10 days wonderful. And you want to go listen to Shelly's story over on, I think, episode 104. And listen to her story on her 10-day experience. It's pretty cool.
Is it?
It was.
I thought it was.
I thought it was.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So we're going to come back in a moment. But listen, guys, if you want to experience really good health, it's the beginning of the year. You want to start it off right. Let's reboot the body. Let's clean it out. Look, you change the oil in your car, you change the air filters in your car, you change the air filters in your furnaces, you clean your carpets, you do all these things. Let's take care of you. Other things don't matter unless you're feeling well and you want to live your best life. So go over to livingwaterscleanse.com. Watch the webinar, 4 Natural Laws of Healing. First of all, it's a requirement if you're going to come here. You got to watch it, because when I speak to you, I want to be on the same page as you. Knowledge is power, and you want to have the knowledge. And then give us a call. We'll have you fill out an online intake form, and you'll come in and you get to do all the freebies and have a lot of fun. So we'll be back in a moment, discuss more of the frequently asked questions when it comes to colon hydrotherapy. I'm David DeHaas from Living Waters Wellness Center, where miracles begin by healing from within.
You can't treat the body and heal it a piece at a time. You have to treat the whole body naturally. That's why Living Waters Wellness Center 10-day healing retreat is so successful in helping what I call the incurables back to wellness. Here's what a few clients had to say about their experience at Living Waters Wellness Center.
For over a year, I've been dealing with gas pains, stomach pains, and it's been waking me up in the middle of the night, so I never get a full night's rest. And last night, after my first colonics, I slept through the entire night without any stomach pain or any kind of issues.
I suffered from migraine headaches for 12 years, once a month, and since I did the 10-day retreat at Living Waters Wellness Center 8 years ago, I have not even had a migraine. I've not even had a headache.
I had back pain on my left side for about 20, 25 years. After the 10-day healing retreat, the pain is completely gone.
To learn more about the 10-day healing retreat, go to healingtheincurables.com or call the office at 208-378-9911. That's 208-378-9911. The preceding examples may not be typical of your experience and may not be right for you. Seek the opinion of a qualified healthcare professional before determining if cleansing is right for you.
Metabolism slows, but there's usually that junk in the trunk that's holding things up. But more importantly, all the pesticides and heavy metals and toxins that are in our liver, maybe in our tissues now. Now it's out in the subcutaneous tissue like we talked about a few minutes ago. Mm-hmm. So weight loss, if you want to, you're going to lose a little bit.
Yeah, I noticed on the 10-day, my husband lost 12.
Wow.
I lost 4. But after you just kind of go back to regular life, those pounds came back.
Right. We see people gain weight too.
Sometimes, but they look different.
Right.
Still look different.
We see a lot of puffiness go away. The gray skin goes away. Or if you've got bright red, purple nose skin, that's a liver issue. That changes. But we had a gal come in here. I don't remember which episode this is. We have about 14 pages, folks, of people sharing their stories of what they experienced the 10-day. And one was a gal who had, I believe it was Crohn's and Lyme disease were her diagnoses. She was down low to 87 pounds.
Ew.
Yeah, she was 5'6". She should have been around 135, 140 was her natural weight. So she came to see us, and she was having diarrhea constantly.
Okay.
So people would think, well, gee, if I have diarrhea, aren't I cleaned out?
No.
No, you're not. There's a whole process to this. And again, you'll learn more about that in watching that webinar, 4 Natural Laws of Healing, over on the website at livingwaterscleanse.com. It's right up there on the right-hand side. You'll see it, 4 Natural Laws of Healing. Watch that. So, I mean, it was amazing to watch her because she gained 10 pounds.
Wow.
On the cleanse.
That's amazing.
She was 97 pounds, almost hitting 100 when she left here.
She got healthier.
She did. You know what's amazing? And then the next year I saw her, it was so she worked for us for about a year. And then she was healthy enough to finally go do what she wanted to do in life. And a year after that I saw her. I didn't recognize her.
How'd she look different?
Well, her hair was curly now versus just straight and thinning. So her hair was falling out before.
Wow.
She was blue-gray in color when she came in. But yeah, she got her brain back. She got her life back. She didn't have to be near a toilet all the time. And she could start, being productive. She had been 4 years without working.
Wow. So I guess when it comes to weight loss, I think your colonic and doing that actually strives to go to what's a healthy weight for you.
Right. When you got heavy metals and guys, look, if you've had vaccines, if you've been drinking out of aluminum cans, if you've been spraying glyphosate on your dandelions in your yard, or your neighbors are, and you're breathing it in. I mean, just in Boise, Idaho, there's so much toxins.
So many.
We're breathing in. Even the forest fires that we've had over the years, so many sources of toxicity come to your body. Your body's got to store it. When the liver runs out of room, it says, hey, I'm going to put it in the fat. I'm going to make fat for you. So some of you are so stuck because you've got mold and yeast and heavy metals. And until you detoxify those, it's going to be difficult. Your body's trying to save your life because it's protecting your essential organs, your heart, your liver, your spleen, your kidneys, etc., by storing these stuff in fat when the liver runs out of room. So one of the things we do on the 10-day retreat, of course, is the liver cleanse.
The liver cleanse, yes, that's a big deal.
It is a big deal.
But to continue doing them is a big deal too.
It's a really big deal is to continue to do those. So there is a maintenance afterwards when we do our 10-day healing retreat. But yeah, weight loss, it does happen, but that's mostly poop. And the average person, 12 to 15 pounds, like we mentioned, will lose the gas and bloating and so forth. So another big question.
I know that women ask this all the time. Can I do this while I'm on my menstrual cycle?
Can they?
Absolutely. In fact, it will help them to feel better.
Yeah. We think we had a story in, 104, Jen's story. She tells about that. So if your cycles are irregular, or if they're super painful, or if they're super long, like 3 weeks or a month, or you haven't had one in 7 years, what we see is the body will get back to balance once we clean out all these toxins, and the body is going to say, okay, I've got this burden off of me. It's like changing, guys, it's kind of like, guys and gals, it's kind of like when your car's running bad and it needs new spark plugs and it hasn't had the oil changed in 100,000 miles and the air filter's never been changed. I mean, it's not going to run good.
No, it's not.
You will run better.
Absolutely.
If we clean out your filters.
Exactly. But one thing that, besides the heavy metals and the toxins, is one thing we haven't mentioned is hormones.
Oh,
it
yeah.
balances the hormones.
Right.
So a lot of ladies will do liver clenses and then say, I'm not having hot flashes anymore.
Right.
They're doing better.
You know, I had a gal that I think she did a cleanse in 2010. And she referred her sister to me about 4 years ago. She says, Dave, I never told you this, but menopause was no big deal. No hot flashes, nothing. I says, whoa, wow, that's amazing. But we've had people with, if when your liver is trying to do so many jobs and the hormones and the thyroid and all that stuff will take a back seat because there's so much toxins in your body. So let's start cleaning the body out. Let's clean up all those heavy metals and toxins and pesticides, and you're going to feel better.
And balance out those hormones. You'll feel great.
What about laxatives? People talk about, hey, I take laxatives.
Or Miralax is the miracle one, they always say too.
Yeah.
Laxatives are a scary thing because it can train the colon to rely on them, for one. And other times it can make you irregular by taking them too much.
Right. Yeah. So, for example, a lot of you are probably out there using magnesium. Nothing wrong with that. But now you're relying on it. And over the years, two things have happened. One, stress. Stress kinks the colon up. It's twisted, it's distorted, and now you got blockage, right? And you've maybe been using the Miralax, but the magnesium, and now it's just dehydrating you.
Exactly.
You're basically, if I flush things out, yeah, things go really good. Well, now you're dehydrating yourself because, get this, your colon recycles over 2 gallons of water a day.
Wow.
So when you have diarrhea, that extra water there, it just says, hey, let's just flush out the bug. So it's like turning on the jet, say, we're just going to flush this stuff out. Well, now you're super dehydrated.
Exactly.
So usually between stress and dehydration, which 99.9% of you, I can guarantee you don't drink enough water.
Even though I see them carrying whatever they're drinking around.
Right.
What?
Yeah, I have people come in here, I drink lots of water. But stress caused your colon to twist and distort. And for many of you, it started when you were in childhood and you've been dealing with all your life. Look, you don't have to deal with this anymore. You don't have to be sick anymore. You don't have to feel bad. This colon muscle can get back to proper shape. I know I was one of those people that thought, every 3 days was okay. Not okay. I tell you, when I started doing the colonics, it was like eureka. It was like finding gold. It was like, oh my gosh.
You find energy when you do them.
You got energy. You think better.
Exactly.
Your joints don't hurt. The biggest thing I noticed is when I used to play a lot of basketball.
Mm-hmm.
I did the colonics, and it was like I walked on the court, and normally it would take me 45 minutes to get flexible and be able to move. I walked around the court and played like I was a 19-year-old.
Wow.
It was amazing.
It's amazing.
It is.
I've had men come in, like in the last 2 weeks, I've had 2 men come in. One had a leg pain, one had a low back pain, complaining about that prior to the colonic.
Right.
And then afterward, I'm giving their drink, and then I happened to ask, how's your pain doing? Both of them went, oh, I forgot all about it.
We see that a lot.
A lot. That's awesome.
We see a lot. So if you want to forget about your pain, come to Living Waters. We got so many of those stories, and you can see a lot of those stories under the success stories on livingwaterscleanse.com. There's 14 pages there I'm a little behind about, there'd be more pages, but I'm a little behind about putting those up. Shelley, what are some of the other questions that come up?
Well, one of the ones that come up is, what's the difference between an enema and a colonic?
That's a good question. Enemas are great as well. The problem with enemas, those of you who've used them probably already know, is that you get a little 2-quart bag, and there's a little tube that you'll then fill the bag with water, and then you of course insert that tube into your rectum, and then you try to hold it for a while, and that's going to stir up hopefully peristalsis, which means the squeezing of the muscle to help evacuate the fecal matter. On a colonic bed, you have constant running of the water.
Way more water.
So not 2 quarts.
No.
We're talking gallons and gallons of water in a 45-minute session. So it's going in and going out. And if you've ever done an enema, you get on the floor maybe and you insert the thing, and then you got to get up, and then maybe you're like, oh my gosh, I can't hold it. Now you make a mess. Or if you can't take very much water. So the beauty of doing colonics versus an enema is the constant water coming in and no mess.
Oh, it's wonderful. It makes you feel so much safer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So again, enema bags are great. Like when you travel, if you get into a situation, you get bound up, I'd have an enema bag. It's $5, $6, $7 maybe. Well, inflation, maybe it's 10 now, but a couple stories. If you've got a severe situation, you might have to do 100 enemas. Not a lot of fun to do that. 100 on a day.
That would be horrible.
Lots of time.
A lot of time.
Whereas in a colonic session,
done. 45 minutes.
45 minutes. Really easy to do.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Well, so anyway, the important thing is you want to get the gunk out of your trunk because it's causing you to have brain fog. Maybe you've got anxiety or depression. We've seen people improve their eyesight by doing colonics. We've seen people their back pain go away.
Yeah.
We've seen all these things just by getting that load out of the gut.
Out of there. On enemas, I find that people that come in for a colonic think they're going to hold the water from colon hydrotherapy.
Right.
And we always tell them not to, but it's sometimes really difficult to untrain those muscles.
Yeah. But the important point is we want to get that muscle hydrated because when it's dehydrated, 1, 2, it's twisted and distorted. You'll see that in the video, how twisted and distorted these can get just because of stress. And we want to get that muscle functioning properly again. And that's where colon hydrotherapy is like the exercising at the gym. We're exercising the colon, so to speak.
I like that.
So when the water goes in, that muscle wants to push back. But the first time you do it, it probably doesn't, especially if you're constipated.
Right.
It says, I want to push back, but I can't. And then you keep doing it. You keep coming back to the colon hydrotherapy gym, Living Waters.
Oh, I like that a lot.
Exactly. And the water comes in, water and poop come out.
And the tube stays in. That was the other thing that came up a lot. The tube stays in the whole time.
Right.
Yes. And things can go around it.
Yeah, it's really a lot. I mean, look, I've got people in the sales fields, realtors, car dealers. It's so easy. They make phone calls from the colonic bed.
They do. I mean, I've had lawyers calling people on the bed, and they're taking care of their business. Well, the business is up on their bed at the same time.
2 businesses at once.
2 businesses at once.
Right.
Yep.
So yeah, it is pretty easy, guys. First day, like I say, it's always a little weird day. You've got some, you're kind of nervous about it. No big deal. Shelley and the other ladies that work here will take really good care of you. And again, you're all covered up, so don't worry about that. What other questions come up that you hear from time to time?
What is a normal stool supposed to look like?
Normal stool, great question. Under FAQs on the website, it has a Bristol stool chart. And if you're pooping like a rabbit, little pellets,
Yeah.
pooping like a rabbit, that's a bad habit. Not good. You're constipated. On the other hand, you can have mushy, cow pie, diarrhea. Again, not good either. Your microbiome's toast. It's messed up. We're going to clean that out and put proper probiotics, prebiotics. When you come to our 10-day retreat, we talk about foods and so forth to help reestablish that. But ideally, if you look on the chart, you want between a 3 and a 4. You don't want to have it super hard. You don't want to have it super mushy, but a nice firm stool that comes out, and that's where you want to be. And ideally, you eat, you poop.
That's exactly what my dog does.
And if you're not eating and pooping, You can come see us.
Yeah, exactly.
Because, it's affecting everything in your body. It's affecting every organ in the body. You'll learn that in the webinar, 4 Natural Laws of Healing. We'll show you all the different organs that connect, all these nerves connect to the colon and small intestine. And there's more neurons in your colon and small intestine than your spinal column.
That's incredible, isn't it?
Isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, it's shocking.
So neurons. Well, David, what's a neuron?
I
We
think it's
refer to
right.
neurons as like cell phones. It's that communication device that's communicating, firing and wiring that nerve that maybe goes to your shoulder or your arm or your leg or your hip. And when it's covered up with poop, it's not firing.
It's not firing.
It's not communicating. So let's clean out the gut and get back to health. So, Shelley, your husband had an issue. You want to talk about that?
Sure.
Helped him out?
Yes, he had a chronic yeast that was growing on his skin, like on his leg. It started off just real small, but it got quite large, like the size of both your hands put together.
Right.
And we went to multiple dermatologists, our family doctor first, then many dermatologists, hundreds and hundreds of dollars later, multiple skin creams later, and nothing worked. And he was so frustrated because, you're spending all this money. It's like taking your car back to the same mechanic over and over, and they can't fix the problem. And I kept looking at going, that's yeast. That's yeast. It's really obvious that's yeast. And so he did the 10-day healing retreat, and he has not had any yeast on his skin since. It's all gone. And, no creams and expensive doctors.
Yeah, and I can vouch for that. If you come here in the hallway, we have some pictures. And I had severe yeast and mold growing on my skin. In fact, I had full-blown, super bad psoriasis. It was miserable. So if you guys are fighting these skin issues, come here. Let's get the internal body healed so that you can get well. I had severe psoriasis and cleared it all up, the mold too, the funguses. And when you get that, because it makes you tired.
Yes, it does.
And it makes you crave carbohydrates and sugar. If you're having these cravings, you want to lose weight this year, you can't have the cravings. And if you have cravings for beer or cigarettes or sugar or pasta or whatever it is, and you want to try and change your diet, the best thing you want to do colonics.
Do colonics.
It will, when you get the chemicals out of the body, the autonomic nervous system is going to be basically retrained.
And functions so much better. I couldn't believe how good I felt after my first one was done and how alive I felt inside.
Yeah. So if you got those issues, you want to come see us, call the office at 208-3789-911, 208-3789-911. So Shelley, if we just got less than a minute here. So people want to come to the office.
Yes.
They want to come try a colonic. Maybe they just want to have a consult first. Can we do that?
They can. They can just give me a phone call and I'll set up a consultation appointment only. And you can meet with David and ask him your questions.
Yeah, pretty simple. But watch the video, 4 Natural Laws of Healing first. That's required. You got 2 little things to do. Watch that video is one of them. Fill out the intake forms the next. Pretty simple to do. And come in here and get well so you can start living your best life. 2023 should be a good year.
It should be amazing.
If you get your body well.
And you'll feel even better doing it.
Right. Yeah. So I've seen people when they're just struggling in their work and in their relationships, but when they get cleaned out, they get whole.
Whole in more ways than one, not just physically, emotionally and spiritually. They become alive and feel like they love everybody.
Exactly. Big change. Guys, go check out the success stories on the website. Give us a call, 208-3789-911. We'll be back again next week with another edition of the Whole Body Detox Show. I'm David DeHaas from Living Waters Wellness Center, where miracles begin by healing from within.
You can't treat the body and heal it a piece at a time. You have to treat the whole body naturally. That's why Living Waters Wellness Center 10-day healing retreat is so successful in helping what I call the incurables back to wellness. Here's what a few clients had to say about their experience at Living Waters Wellness Center.
For over a year, I've been dealing with gas pains, stomach pains, and it's been waking me up in the middle of the night, so I never get a full night's rest. And last night, after my first colonics, I slept through the entire night without any stomach pain or any kind of issues.
I suffered from migraine headaches for 12 years, once a month, and since I did the 10-day retreat at Living Waters Wellness Center 8 years ago, I have not even had a migraine. I've not even had a headache.
I had back pain on my left side for about 25 years. After the 10-day healing retreat, the pain is completely gone.
To learn more about the 10-day healing retreat, go to healingtheincurables.com or call the office at 208-378-9911. That's 208-378-9911. The preceding examples may not be typical of your experience and may not be right for you. Seek the opinion of a qualified healthcare professional before determining if cleansing is right for you.